Hey everybody, Marcy here. I'm back with another Bali vlog video. I just shared with you all about Ubud, and now I'm going to tell you about my drive down to Uluwatu, as well as how exactly that was. So make sure that you've watched a lot of the videos in my series, because I will reference a lot of that because I gave full details on all of it. So hopefully that you find that helpful. Links below for all of that. And please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear from you. I want to know if you've been to Uluwatu. I want to know what you did in Uluwatu and kind of how it compared to what I did. So let's get right into it. So I left off from the Ubud Market. We woke up, we checked out of our hotel from Ubud, and we drove down to Uluwatu. That drive is roughly an hour and a half or so. And it really wasn't that bad. The one scare that we did have, I thought I left my phone. So we did kind of swing over to a I don't want to say a wine shop, because it wasn't just wine, but we did swing over to get kind of some drinks for the beach so we could kind of hang out and relax. The closest beach to us in Uluwatu was Thomas Beach. I'll tell you about that in a second. And anyway, I thought that I had left my phone on the counter, and so like 40 minutes I was like, shoot, where's my phone? And we couldn't find it. We pulled over, we started driving back toward the place that we were getting drinks from, and I found my phone like between the seat, and I was like, oh my gosh. So because we had to backtrack, that drastically messed up our day, the beginning of our day in Uluwatu. It kind of didn't allow us to have the lunch that I wanted us to have, but it's okay. So one of the places that I had researched to go do yoga was Yoga Searcher. So I went and got lunch from Yoga Searcher, and it still worked out okay. From there, we went to check in our hotel, or our Airbnb rather. Super cute hotel. Sorry, I said it again. Super cute Airbnb within walking distance to Thomas Beach, lots of shops, and that's exactly what I wanted. So we went from Ubud, where you needed a driver like every single second, and I wanted that, again, more normal living type of experience. So we were able to go to Uluwatu, walk for the majority, to our room. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so we checked in the Airbnb, we walked to change in our bathing suits, we walked down to lunch. We had roughly like an hour or so on Thomas Beach, and that was an experience. So I guess people say that it's pretty, and I'm not saying that it's not, but when we went, the tides were low. It was very marshy. It was not the beach that I was envisioning in the beach that I'll show you later in this video. Excuse me. The sand was rocks. I've never been to a rocky beach. They were white rocks, but it was not comfortable on your feet. So that was a shocker and just an experience. And there were so many dogs. Like, yes, there's dogs in Ubud like everywhere, but there were a lot of dogs at Thomas Beach. And I don't really do a lot of dogs because I'm kind of scared of them. I had a traumatic incident whenever I was younger, still getting over that fear. So it was kind of like eating lunch with like the dog like panting and blowing like right here. Now the good thing, I was very proud of myself. I didn't freak out too crazy because they're used to people and they just kind of sit there and watch you. So that was Thomas Beach. Getting down to Thomas Beach and all of the beaches in Uluwatu. Uluwatu is on basically a cliff. All the resorts and the hotels and the Airbnbs. So you have to walk down a lot of steps to get down there. So that was definitely interesting. So the cultural aspect that I wanted to do was to go to the Uluwatu Temple. So we went to the Uluwatu Temple. I didn't opt to do the monkey forest. That's a big tourist area in Ubud, but if you're into that, definitely go for it. But I knew we would get monkeys at the temple, which we did. So the Uluwatu Temple was very pretty, very historic, and we stayed for the fire dance. So the fire dance was very interesting, no talking. It's a group of like, I think 70 men or so, I could be wrong, don't quote me. And they made lots of noises with their mouth and made the instruments from their bodies and their mouth, and it was cool. So you can definitely check that out. And once we were done with that, we were going to go to a beach club for the evening, but it just didn't turn out to be what I wanted it to be. It ended up being kind of like a drinking spot more than dinner. So that was a little bit of an upset, but lo and behold, we kind of walked past a very romantic looking restaurant. It kind of had that Paris, France looking vibe where the seats were on the outside with the candles. It was like super nice. It was called Ulu. And that was a very fun experience. The food was great. Again, tried to get something healthy. And that was my thing about this trip. Like I didn't want to get like freaking hamburgers and fries. And I'm not gonna lie, I can be guilty about doing that on trips just because I love to eat it. I don't eat it during the weekday because I meal prep like crazy. I eat super healthy. When I go on vacation, I want to eat a little bit bad, but I stayed healthy this trip. So I was very excited and I didn't gain any pounds. But we had dinner, and then after that we went back to the hotel and we just actually hung out in, I keep saying hotel, I'm so sorry. We went back to the Airbnb. We hung out in the pool. The pool had some lights and it was also romantic because it was just us. So that was cool. So the next morning, I really wanted to do yoga at the yoga searcher that I mentioned, but Marcy had this great idea to take beach pictures. So we took some beach pictures. It was a lot of fun. And we used the same photographer that we used in Ubud. He was awesome. He drove down to take our pictures. So that was amazing. And again, took some hang tight pictures that I took in Ubud. So I didn't share that, but yeah, I took some pictures there. And again, that was another early morning, and it dictated where we went based on the tides. So the tides can be high tide or low tide. There's a whole app that you can download to manage that. But we went to Suluban Beach, and it was very nice. It was super cool, and all the surfers were out there. So we were out there once again like 7 a.m. Lots of surfers out there. They were doing their warm-ups, and we were out there taking pictures. There were some other people out there taking pictures. But just one of those places, as I mentioned, I was looking up kind of unique beaches in Uluwatu, and that one stuck for me, and it was close to our place. And so that was just an awesome experience. I've never taken beach pictures, so that was a first for me. So took lots of beach pictures, and from there, I wanted to go to the Loft. I wanted to go to the Loft Bali. That was some good ratings, but didn't make it there. But I did end up at the District. So we went to the District. We ended up going twice actually. And the District ended up being like a super good low-key breakfast spot. I'm shocked that there weren't more people there. So I do recommend that restaurant. And I got like the best pancakes and ice cream. I've never had that before. I'm a big foodie, if those of you that don't know. And another catcher that I don't know why people don't go, they give you a free cup of coffee for every meal that you order. And it's super affordable, right? So my husband doesn't drink coffee, so all of the coffee came to me, and I drank a lot of it. So I was feeling quite good, quite energized. I did drink a lot of water, and I also travel with electrolytes, if I didn't mention that. And I don't think I mentioned that in my earlier video. I like to travel with electrolytes because it just keeps you hydrated. So I definitely forgot that on my packing video. So after breakfast, kind of impromptu, because again, we were supposed to have navigated to someplace else. We were then going to go to Sunday's Beach Club. I was so excited to ride the elevator, have that experience. But please tell me why when we go, the tide was too high. They weren't letting anybody in until I think 1:30, 2 o'clock. And all you could pay, because it's not cheap necessarily to get in. So you could pay to get in if you want to, but then all you can do is kind of sit up front and like sit in the dining area. I was like, I'm not coming to Bali to not go to the beach, the very pretty beach. So I had done a lot of research, and I had already like reserved other beach club reservations. So I super lucked out. I was so excited. We ended up at the White Rock Beach Club, and that ended up being awesome. It was a roughly brand new beach club. It's humongous. It's massive. But I reserved like the perfect chairs, so we had just an awesome time at the beach. And that's when the blue waters and white sand beaches came into play, and it was all what you could have ever dreamed for traveling to Bali. So we got to see those, and that was just a lot of fun. And from there, Marcy was going back to the spa. My husband opted not to. I kind of got him earlier in the trip. He decided to kind of lay low, so he chilled. He chilled at the Airbnb, at the pool, and relaxed. And I went to the spa and had another scrub because I don't do a lot of spas here. I just don't. That doesn't mean I want to. I'm just busy mom life. Don't think about myself enough probably. But went to the spa, had an awesome time. The customer service was great. I got my nails and my toes done, which I don't ever do. I do my own thing. And from there, again, we were going to do another restaurant, but by that time, again, our flight left that night. So our flight was actually at 1 a.m. So that was definitely a first. It was super late, which allowed us to have kind of that full day in Uluwatu. And so for dinner, we actually went back to the district because, as I mentioned, everything was super close to our room, which I loved. And that time we did get a hamburger, and I'll be honest, that was not good. The burger was not that good, but the breakfast was amazing. So we went back there, and then we kind of went and got our bags, and that's when my suitcase broke. So I shared that earlier in a video. When we were checking out of the Airbnb, she has those rocks, and definitely cracked my wheel in my suitcase. Not ideal. But then, yeah, we drove to the airport. We left early enough. We got there way too early. I think my husband was ready to go at that point. That's probably how men are these days. And yeah, went ahead to the airport because the flight left super early on Friday morning so that we could arrive back in Atlanta on Sunday, because again, it is a very long flight. So that was our time in Uluwatu. I loved everything about it. Just the landscape is different. Lots of pretty things to see, and you also get to see the culture too. So right where our Airbnb was, I mean, there was like a village right there where people lived, and they had their sacrifices and they did everything of that nature too. So just still trying to be respectful of their area. Down closer to the beach where the restaurants were, it looked like kind of sort of more mainstream, more Americanized, I would say. And it was just super pretty. I mean, it was nice, and the beaches was awesome. Again, all the beaches were on those really, really big cliffs. We did pass let's see if I can get to it. I'm probably not gonna be able to get to it. Let's see. There was like the big Bali statue, forgive me, that I don't remember the name of it right offhand. Here we go. I think it's called, let's see, because we didn't stop by it, but we did, sorry y'all, we did drive past it. Can't find it. I'll put it here. Sorry, I don't want to derail us. Too bad. Oh, it's called Garuda Winsnu. It was the big cultural temple in Uluwatu. We did get to see that on the way from the drive from Ubud to Uluwatu to our Airbnb. So that was cool. But I like the experience. Overall, I absolutely love Bali. I would definitely go back. I would stay longer. I would get a villa. So like I know everything that I would do just to kind of continue to change it up. And I would really go back to the K Club and stay at that hotel because it was beautiful. You would have loved it. Girl trip, guy trip, solo trip, whatever. It has everything that you want for sure. So I hope that gives you some insight on what I did in Uluwatu. Please do share what you do and what you think about it. I'll see you for the next one. See ya. Bye.